Alright, so I figured out how to do this. The very first thing we need is a polygon, a pentagon more specifically, so we're going to do a 5-sided polygon. I'm just going to make this out here in space somewhere. That's what we're going to end up with over there. I'm going to move it so it's like away from everything. Just drag it out, so select. Great. Now we need another polygon that's 6-sided. We need a hexagon now, 2 hexagons. And we're going to do this by the edge. So I'm going to make one here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror this over that same edge. I'm not going to copy it so that it ends up over there. Great. And then I'm going to rotate it so that I end up with a copy on the other side from here to regular rotate, not rotate 3D. From here to, that's not what I wanted, from here to there. Great, so now I have these shapes. I'm going to turn this into a planar surf. And I'm going to change the layer these are on, so these will be a different color. And I'll turn those into planar surfaces. Great. Now, in another layer, we're going to make some reference geometry. So we're going to make some spheres. And I'm going to make the sphere from this point over here, from that point right there, to this point right here. And I'm in ghosted view so that I can see this a little more clearly. X-ray kind of works as well, maybe even wireframe. But you want to be able to see through it a little bit so you can pick your points. So I'm in ghosted, so we have one sphere. I'm going to make another sphere from that corner to this corner, and I'm going to make one sphere from this corner to this corner. Great, so now we have 3 spheres, and what we want to do is select them and figure out where they intersect. So we're going to do curve from objects, intersection. That gives us 3 curves showing us where these spheres intersect. So I'm going to get rid of these spheres. And I think what I'm actually going to do is just deselect the spheres and move them to a new layer so that I can oh, it just changed. Yeah, great. So my curves are now in that blue layer. Now, for whatever reason, this gives us the point at which these 2 things will intersect with the edges being perfectly like flush. So I'm going to drop a point right there, and I'm going to put that on the default layer at this point. So now I can turn this off as well, and I'm going to use an orient 3 point. So I'm going to orient this from here and here and here. And I'm going to select these same 2 points, so those 2 will stay the same. And the third one will pivot up to there. Great. And now that angle, for whatever reason, again, is correct. So I can take this, and I can do a polar array instead of having to repeat that process. Array polar from the center of this object 5 times, so that we have that. Excellent. Great. Now, I'm going to take another point. I'm actually going to undo what I just did. I'm going to take a point and drop it in the center right there because I'm going to have to reference that a few times. So I'll do my array polar, this object, from that point 5 times. And great. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to orient 3 point it. I want this to be a copy. And I'm going to select 3 points and where I want those 3 points to go. So I'll select here, here, and here. That's like the tip of my pentagon, and I want it to go into this space. So I got that. And now I'm going to array polar this around that point 5 times. I got that now. And now I want these, one of these, to come up into this space. So I'll do an array polar same, or sorry, not an array polar, an orient 3-point from here and here and here, and I'm going to select where I want those points to go. That's 1, this is 2, that's 3. Great. Now I can do another array polar with that object around that center point 5 times. Great. Now we have this, which is half of our sphere. I'll select these 2 curves and get rid of them because I don't want them anymore. And then I'll take this, and I'm going to mirror this in the front view, just across the top like that. And I want that to be a copy. So I want to make sure it says copy equals yes. Take that, and now it's not in the right spot, right? I want it to fill these spaces. So I'm going to join all of this so it stays as one thing. Then I will be able to orient 3-point it from here into that negative space to, I want to make sure I get that endpoint, 2, 3. That's not right. Take that, orient 3-point it. Make sure I turn some of these off. Smart track is off. Great. And I'm going to go back to shaded view because I think it'll make this easier. 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Something is not correct about that. Okay, I got it. So orient 3-point, I was making a copy from these 3 points to these 3 points. Bam. Great. Now it's exactly where it should be. Take this and get rid of it. This is all blue because it's flipped, so I'm going to click on it and type flip. I'll flip these as well. And that one flip. Great. And I want all my pentagons to be on one layer. So I'm going to explode this. Select my pentagons. 5. That one 2. And I'll move those to my default layer. And I'll take this one and I'll flip it. Cool. And I have my truncated dodecahedron. That's pretty much it. Good luck.